Once again, welcome everyone. Thank you everyone for coming out to the Angola Area Chamber of Commerce Business Expo. I'd like to start out by recognizing a few dignitaries that are in the room. Mayor Richard Hickman, Mayor of Angola. Angola Police Chief Stu Hamlin. Steuben County Sheriff Tim Troyer. Representative of the 51st District of Indiana, Dick Dodge. Representative of the 52nd District, Indiana, David Yard. I'd like to introduce now the 2012 Angola Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. As you hear your name, please stand and remain standing. Board Chair Sue Westman from the City of Angola. Vice Chair Denise Payton from RISE. Treasurer Andy Aldred from Cameron Hospital. Past Chair Jennifer Rumsey of Gemsey Designs. Board members Barry Barenfanger of Potawatomi Inn and Restaurant. Linda Bateman, Trine University. Pam Doty, Mike Thomas Associates. Bobby Grills, Steuben County United Way. Scott Gruner, First Federal Savings Bank of Angola. Hillary Price, Peter Franklin Jewelers. Stephen Mayer, Stephen C. Mary, Attorney at Law. Marlena McDonald, Farmers and Merchants State Bank. Tim Newby, Farmers State Bank. Cheryl Weimer, Eberhard and Weimer. And Steve Wertman, Insurance and Financial Services. As most of you know, my name's Todd Gorman. I'm the Executive Director of the Angola Area Chamber of Commerce. And thank you, Al. And the Administrative Assistant at the Chamber is Nicole Vanette. Now, as most of you know who work in an office where you have individuals working for you and with you, an assistant is invaluable. You just can't put a price on it. You can't put a value on it. Nicole came to the Chamber in August of last year. And one thing that you realize in an organization like this is in a calendar year, every time you do something one time, the first time, you've never done it before. So a whole year of time this is the first time I've ever done this. So that makes the job even tougher. And Nicole has come in August and has done a really great job. So would you please stand, Nicole, and please give her a round of applause. Thank you, Nicole. Very well deserved, trust me. Okay, we have a few awards we'd like to present going forward. We have what we call a Star Award. It's a Gold Star Award, and we present that generally to a chamber member who has been involved in the chamber in a very real, very large, a long time. The first recipient of our Gold Star Award has been a past board member for years. He's served on, I think, every committee that there's to serve on. Unfortunately, he was not able to be here, I don't think. Mike Votaw. Oh, he is here. The second Gold Star Award, much like Mike, has been a longtime chamber member, a longtime chamber board member, past board member, again, on just about every committee that you could imagine. My first experience with the chamber was in the 2009 Fall Fest. She was a huge help for me putting that together. Susie Ray. Susie's here or not. We have 3 more awards to give out. These are for some specific award categories. The first of which is the Customer Service Excellence Award. This award goes to an organization who has gone above and beyond what you would expect an organization to do. The winner of this award is a nonprofit service organization. They work with about a $60,000 a year budget. They're all volunteers. They serve about 30 to 50 cancer patients in the Steuben County area. That money that they spend stays in Steuben County, and one of their board members started the organization in 1961, and she's still with the organization, been there the entire time. Steuben County Cancer Association, Phyllis Miller, would you come please accept this award?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
The second award I'd like to recognize today is the Business Professional of the Year. The recipient of this award has been a member of the Chamber of Commerce for a number of years, has been a past board member of the Chamber of Commerce, has been in the banking industry for a number of years here in the Angola area. She couldn't be with us here today because she's relocating to South Carolina. Merlana McDonald. The last award that we'd like to present today is for the Business of the Year. All these awards, by the way, come from nominations from our membership at large. Our executive committee looks at all the nominations and makes the choice from the nominations that come from you. The Business of the Year is given to a company that came to Angola in 1985. They've been involved in several donating projects to the Angola area in Steuben County. They've sponsored numerous different events and organizations in the area. They've shown growth in their business throughout the 27 years they've been here. Power Screen of Indiana. Dave Ballinger, where are you? If you'd like to accept this as the nominating body of Power Screen.
And I can only give you about 30 minutes of speech.
Okay. No acceptance speeches, thank you. So what's the Chamber of Commerce? Why are we here? I'm going to move around a little bit because I don't like lecterns. They make me nervous. Besides, if I'm standing behind you, you can't see me. We're going to do a short PowerPoint to discuss a little bit about why we're here, what we do. I hope I'm not going to block anybody. I have to be where I can shoot this laser at the machine. Angola Area Chamber of Commerce. As you can see, we've changed our logo a little bit. This year is our 75th year in existence. The organization was started in 1937, so we're really proud of that. But let's start with chambers of commerce. What is a chamber of commerce and where did they begin? Well, they can be traced back to about 6,000 years to Mesopotamia. In about 1600, the first organized, if you will, Chamber of Commerce cropped up in France. They started moving westward. By 1800, they were in Western Europe. And in 1768, the New York State Chamber of Commerce was chartered. And at the behest of President William Howard Taft, in April of 1912, the United States Chamber of Commerce was brought into existence. As of now, there are over 7,000 chambers of commerce in the United States. But what about the Angola Chamber? What's that mean? The Angola Chamber started in November of 1937. A handful of business individuals got together, decided, you know, do we need to be a part of this? Would this be a good thing for us? So they hired an individual named Lawrence Vaughn from Michigan City, Indiana. He's well known throughout the state of Indiana at that time for putting together these types of projects. In December, he came to the organization with his report, and within 2 months, in December with the original membership drive, they had 122 members. Now, I'd like to think that our membership committee in the next 2 months would be able to add another 122 members to our membership. That would be great. So, membership committee, here you go, you got your task. The dues at the time, I don't know if I should say this or not, dues at the time was $10 a year. So, but we're not going to go back to that, so sorry about that. Our mission statement. As you can see, there's partnership, resources, and advocacy that all revolves around our members. Our mission statement states that the Angola Area Chamber of Commerce and its Board of Directors are firmly committed to provide proactive leadership and value to our members and our community through partnerships and advocacy. We will provide this by business promotion, serving as an information resource, addressing important issues which affect our Chamber's members and community, and being a proponent of economic development. Moving forward, we need to talk about functions and benefits. What's the Chamber do for you? How do you benefit from being a Chamber member? Well, the first thing we can talk about is the Indiana General Assembly. We're an information resource for them. The governor, the senators, the state representatives. I've been fortunate enough in the last year to visit with the governor and speak with him one-on-one 3 times in the last year. State senators and state representatives always at our disposal, as well as city and county government officials. We can gather information for them and deliver that information to you. That's one of our functions that we provide. Third House Forums is another thing that we provide. That's a legislative wrap-up session from the Indiana State House. We are on the edge of finishing up the legislative session. I believe the 9th, if we're lucky, we'll be finished up at Indianapolis. We will coordinate with our local state representatives to do a Third House Forum where they will come and give a wrap-up of everything that's gone on at the state level. We encourage participation for that. The more people that come to that, the better it is. The more informed you are, the better it is. One of the information resources that we provide is a program that we call Luncheon Learns. We just wrapped up a Lunch and Learn a couple weeks ago at Trine University. We had about 40 or so people that involved promoting your business through social media. It was very successful, and we have I think 5 more planned on different Microsoft type applications. So keep your eye out for our email advertisements on that. Really hope that you can all take advantage of that. As many times as we can, we provide these at no cost. If there is any cost at all to us that we have to pass on, we'll try and keep that as low as possible. But keep in mind, Chamber members will always pay less than non-Chamber members. Networking is a big benefit that the Chamber provides. Member breakfasts, we try and do those quarterly. It's a great opportunity for all the members to get together. If after hours isn't a good time for you, mornings work better. We have one coming up on the 28th of March at Cahoots Cafe. We hope anybody who is here that can make it would make it. We will have RSVP opportunities for that. Business after hours, we do that once a month, generally on the 3rd Thursday of the month. It's become a really popular event. I think the last one we had, about 120 RSVPs. Perfect opportunity for everybody to get to know who they're doing business with. If you're new in the area, it's a perfect time for you to get to know people that you don't know. Everybody wants to do business with somebody they're comfortable with, right? It just makes sense. So come to these gatherings and get your word out and get to know, shake hands. It's just a great opportunity. It's a good time too. Member promotion is a function and benefit of the Chamber. We have a membership directory in your red bags that we handed out. The 2011 membership directory is in there. There's important advertising information in there. All of our members' contact information is in there. This is a good way for you to look through and find out who's a Chamber member, who can I do business with, what service or product do I need. It's all in there. We have website advertising available as well. We have a new database that we bought in August. It's really nice. We're still learning how to use it. It offers us a whole bunch of different ways to promote your business in a really cost-effective way. So we would hope that you would give us a call to allow us to work with you in seeing if we could promote your business through that. And we provide ribbon cuttings. Doesn't have to be a new business. If you're an existing business that's gone through a remodeling and you want to reopen your doors and reintroduce yourself to the community, it's a great way to do it. We have membership discounts available. We have insurance types of insurance discounts through workers' comp, group health, business insurance. We have travel discounts. There will be more to come on this in a few minutes. We have travel discounts that are available, and we have a program that we would really like to see more people take advantage of. It's our member-to-member discount. I think right now we have about 60 or 65 organizations that take advantage of participating in this program. And really what it's about is if you're a chamber member, you have one of our chamber membership cards. Any business that is participating in that program, you can take your membership card in there, show it when you're making a purchase, and you will be able to take advantage of the discounts. So these are real dollar and cents ways to take advantage of your chamber membership. Community events, of course, we sponsor community events. 4th of July celebration, it won't be long and we'll probably be in the middle of that. I'm kind of looking forward to the weather. I don't know, really looking forward to all the work that goes along with it just yet. 4th of July, we're always involved in that very closely with the City of Angola, and the 101 Kiwanis Club works closely with us as well. This year will be the first year that we've partnered with the Angola Balloons Aloft event. We've got a lot of big stuff coming up for that. Really don't want to get into that now because I could talk for about an hour about what's going on with the Angola Balloons Aloft event as far as what the Chamber's bringing to it. And of course, Fall Fest, we provide Fall Fest every year. And that's just kind of been a staple of downtown Angola for a number of years. And of course, we're really happy to bring that to you. Economic development. Support Angola area first. Now, this is the Angola Area Chamber of Commerce, so it doesn't have to be just Angola, but it's the Angola area. We hear all the time, our region will succeed or fail together. It's not just Angola. Angola is the center, it's the county seat, but the outlying areas of Angola can certainly take advantage of membership benefits as well. We're working on a new education initiative, working with the Community Foundation here in Steuben County and working with the Steuben County EDC to do some research on what it is that we can do in terms of the Vision 2025 program, which is designed to give young kids, a higher percentage of young kids, at least a certificate type program graduation, if not a 2 or a 4-year degree. We'll be looking into that very soon. We have a meeting scheduled a little bit later this month, and we really hope to get that kicked off. As anybody, all of you here, I'm sure understand, education is really going to be the backbone and the base of economic development for our future going forward. And of course, advocacy. A number of the things that I've already spoken about as far as advocacy, the connectivity to your state and state legislators, city government, county government, all that stuff goes along with it. Specifically, some of the new and some not so new programs that we've put together. We just signed a deal with Enterprise National Rent-A-Cars. Anybody who's a chamber member or an employee of a chamber member can take advantage of discounts through Enterprise and National Rent-A-Cars. There's a booking code on the back of your membership card. When you call in, you can provide this booking code. You'll automatically get the discount. That's all there is to it. We just signed an agreement with PayServe. If you find yourself in need of a payroll service company, what they've agreed to do, if you're not already a customer of theirs, they will provide for you 100% of your first year's chamber membership. If you stay with the company and you feel that they're doing a good job for you and you stay with the chamber, they'll provide for you 50% of your chamber membership dues the second year. So we think that's a really important feature for you guys to take advantage of, and we think that it's going to be great for membership. Angola Office Supply, we've just signed an agreement with them. They will provide 10% off of their already low price to any chamber member that you would not be privy to it as a non-chamber member. PHP has been a long time supporter of the Chamber of Commerce. They provide competitive rates. They provide discounts to any chamber member and for their employees, and they specialize in 2 to 50 employees. Intercontinental Hotels Group, which is the hotel group that owns Holiday Inn and Holiday Inn Express, have provided us with a really generous discount package. And it's for business or pleasure. If you're a chamber member or an employee of a chamber member and you're traveling, you can use it when you're going to see Grandma in Naples, Florida. If you have business clients coming to your location, you can use it to put them up here. They've been very generous about that. And the Smart Buy program, I kind of alluded to that a little bit. That's the member-to-member discount. And it's really important if you'd like to take advantage of that. I would recommend that you give us a call and see if there's some way that we could create a discount that you would like to extend to chamber members to help promote yourself and make you more of a first choice for consumers. The Smart Buy, you'll notice there's a QR code below the Smart Buy button. We just created that with our Public Relations Committee this year. If you have a smartphone, you can download for free an app that will read that QR code, and that will take you directly to the part of our webpage, our website, that has the whole list of all of the discount providers to the Chamber of Commerce and to Chamber of Commerce members. So it used to be you had to carry the little page around with you everywhere you went to know who was the chamber discount. We're going to dinner. I don't know. You got the paper? No, I don't have it. So you scan this with your phone. You can take a look. This is an easy way, a modern way to get that discount information to you. The gift check program is another program that we would have really liked to seen get a little bit better traction. If you are a member of the gift check program, what this means is if somebody comes in and buys a gift check from the chamber as a gift to an employee or to a client or to a customer, you are on this list of locations that will accept the gift check. You have to be a chamber member to accept it. If you are in the business of accepting money and selling goods, you would want to be on this list, I would think. It just kind of makes sense to me. It was pointed out that my wife's business is not on this list, but it will be shortly. We have one more program that I'd like to kind of roll out. We've been working with the membership committee and our public relations committee and also the finance committee to put together a way that all our members could kind of be advocates for us. And we have a membership referral program that we've just created. What that means is if you call me as a chamber member and say, I would like to refer XYZ company to be a chamber member, and they come and they become a chamber member, next year you will get 20% off of your chamber membership. We think that's kind of an important thing that gives us the ability for you to kind of help us grow. And as you know, a larger chamber gives us more resources to provide more services back. If you refer, in a calendar year, if you refer 3 chamber members in our fiscal year, you will receive 50% off of your chamber membership. So if you know an individual or an organization that is not a chamber member and you think they would be a good chamber member, you think that they would find value in it, give them a call and say, I'm going to refer you to the chamber, and we'll get in touch with them, have them get in touch with us. If you can do that 3 times, it'll mean 50% off of your next year's chamber membership. So that's kind of an important thing to take a look at. And of course, we would be remiss if we did not recognize our sponsors for this event, Cameron Hospital, Frontier Communications, and NIPSCO. And also, I'd like to draw your attention over here to the front left corner. We created this display at really right after the Expo last year. Trine University, Bon Appetit Management Company, Kristen Sowers, Jim Ingledew Construction, Remax Results, Farmers and Merchant State Bank, and Cameron Memorial Hospital are what we call monumental members. The Monumental Membership Program is a program for organizations to kind of go above and beyond with their sponsorship to the chamber membership and to the programs that we try and bring to the community and to our membership. I would like to take the opportunity to thank them for being on this list. We've created a pretty nice benefit package that goes along with this, and we limit the number of members that can be on this through a category of businesses. If you don't see a category of business that you belong to and you think that you might be able to take advantage of that, give us a call and we'd be happy to talk with you about that. That kind of concludes what I would like to talk to you about today, which brings me to the point in our program where I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker is the Dean of the Kettner School of Business at Trine University. He's a former student at Trine University. I'm told he graduated. I haven't seen the sheepskin or anything like that yet, but I'm told he graduated. He graduated and went into the financial services industry, and in doing so, he found that he was not able to use the types of computer programs that he would like to use to benefit himself and his clients. So he decided he was going to create his own, and he did. He grew his business to, about 70 or so employees, a very impressive annual income, and lo and behold, some organization in New York decided they wanted it worse than he did. And we're glad for that because we got him back because of it. So if you all help me welcoming Scott Ferguson, Dean of the Kettner School of Business at Trine University.
All right, is this thing on? All right, everybody can hear me? Great. Welcome, thank you. It's an amazing thing to see all the awards that have been given out, and I was really surprised with the size of the group here. This is fantastic. I just got off the plane last night from Salisbury, North Carolina. Does anybody know where that is? Salisbury, right? I had the steak, but that's it. It's the hometown of a guy by the name of Ralph Kettner. All right, and so that's the Kettner School of Business, and he is a tri-state grad. It took him 45 years to get his degree, a little less than it took me, but he started a company called Food Town, which then became Food Lion. Right now, I think about 11 billion in sales. All right, amazing story about how he grew, and he is very unorthodox, and I think that there couldn't be a better namesake for the school and the things that we're doing than him. One of the things he shared with me last night, or the night before when we were having dinner, he said that Winn-Dixie would run ads. All right, Winn-Dixie is another big player down in the South, and they'd run ads about competing against Food Lion. All right, and one of them is they said that unlike Food Lion, Winn-Dixie has the lowest overall prices. Okay, so what's Ralph do? He sees that ad, and so the next day he puts an ad out, and it's got a big pair of overalls, all right, on the page, and he goes, you know, as far as we know, Winn-Dixie must have the lowest price on overalls, but we don't sell overalls, we sell groceries, all right? And so he was constantly zinging them, you know, the whole time. And so I think a guy like that, that's just awesome. But here's the deal, enough, right? We've all been talking, I've talked to so many of you here in this room. I've had all kinds of conversations with people that are absolutely dedicated and committed to growing this area and this region, all right? We have had a number of speeches I've given. You're probably tired of hearing me talking about all the stuff I'm going to do, all right? And that's great because I just got back from another meeting in Fort Wayne. This is with Jumpstart. It's an amazing organization, and they're talking about all the things that they're getting ready to do, okay? And that's good. I'm not trying to suggest that it's not good to plan, that you should plan, and that's part of the whole process. But after a while, you can't just sit there if it's real, right? You got to actually get in there and do it. And so what we're going to talk about today is what's actually happening, and everybody in here in the part you play, all right? So let's see. Okay, the first thing here is that why is it so easy? You know, when you think about all the things that you can do, why is it easy for us in our minds to build out and go and do infrastructure, right? The first thing is you can see it, right? We go out and we put a technology park together, we go put a commercial park together, we go build a new building. Those are things that, boy, I tell you what, I drive by it every day. I can see that thing out there, and I can understand, as well as I think everybody here can, that's a powerful thing. The second thing is, boy, you know, you got to go out there and build this thing now, don't you? So you got to put people to work now, and it's great, you know, because you can see that those people are out there and they're making the incomes, and the companies that do that kind of work, they're out there building, all right? It makes great photos, you know. You have the gold-plated shovel, and you're turning it. It's wonderful, and everybody's wow, and everybody's excited, right? And that's a big deal. The next is, let's see, let's get this thing to work. There we go. It's like, you ever seen Kevin Costner Field of Dreams? And I'm not trying to be silly, it's serious. You think about what it's going to be, right? And that's exciting. You think of that park being filled with businesses, and that's a neat thing, right? Because you think, well, good grief, all those businesses, they're all employing people and they're all out there, okay? And then last, people that do it are people that care. They want to see it happening. They're not doing this for fun. They believe that it can work. Okay? There's a problem, though, in my mind with this, all right? And right now, there's some of you in here going, oh, man, you know, I like this idea. I think he made all these great points. Well, it is Field of Dreams. Unless it's built to, and you have people waiting to get in, it's not going to be just occupied right away. Eventually, that work is going to get done. Matter of fact, I visited a commercial park where they were even putting hanging flower pots in and landscaping in. Why? Because there's nobody there and they wanted to keep people busy. That's tough. I'm not saying you don't do it, but quite frankly, it's hard. It's hard to get behind that when it doesn't fill up, all right? So, and just building it doesn't mean it's going to fill up. All right, so here's the next thing is, why is it so darn hard to understand entrepreneurism? Heck, I can't even say that word half the time, let alone spell it. So what do we have with this? Well, the first thing is, by its very definition, it's got no track record. It's a new idea. It's a whole new thing coming along. Nobody's ever heard of it. Matter of fact, you may have heard of it and you think, well, I don't think that would ever work. Okay, strike one, right? All right. Number two, right? Nothing certain. Nothing at all. You know, they sit there and say they're going to do all this stuff, and they have all these great spreadsheets and projections and stuff that where it's going to go, but you can't eat that. All right, you got to actually see it actually happen, and that's not for sure by any stretch of the imagination. And here's the other reality. Anybody guess what the actual success rate for new businesses is? It's about 5 in 100. Wow. Boy, that's not good odds, right? 5 in 100? Okay, and we'll get to why that is. We'll talk about some of the things of how that might be a little misleading. But that's the same, plain and simple reality. If you're looking at it statistically, stats aren't that great. And then sometimes, you know, you almost feel like his luck's got something to do with it. You know, that is it all that with all the planning? Is it what is going on with this? Okay? So it really makes for a tough thing. You think, why do people do this? You know, and right now I could stop and we could spend the rest of the presentation talking about why entrepreneurism works and all the studies and all the statistics and all the things that go into it. But I don't think I'm saying anything new to anybody here. Okay? What I really figure we do is we start asking some questions here. And I want you to think about this. The first thing is, do we have a shortage of money? Is there just not enough money? Well, the answer to that, of course, is no. There's a tremendous amount of money in capital here. But here's the deal. One of the problems with that is that when you go out, let's say you make a certain thing, all right, and you've made a lot of money making that thing. It's hard to think about anything else, isn't it? This is what you do, all right? If you sell insurance, if you build buildings, if you do all this stuff, thinking about doing other stuff, it's like, well, why would I do that? I make a lot of money doing that. So by its very nature, capital grows, money comes in, but it kind of keeps doing what it always did. Which is why for a long time, you know, we keep thinking we need more manufacturers here. Because that's what we got. We get that. We understand that. But guess what? Where does that production go when the costs of it are some are cheaper? All right? We've seen it over and over again. All right? Here's the reality. And I happen to know this. All right? As the people that I'm talking to, the organizations that are out there, man, there's money out there for it. It's looking to where to grow. Hey, anybody check what the, you know, no offense to all the good bankers here, but anybody check what their checking account or savings account is paying these days? It's nothing, isn't it? I mean, it's literally nothing. That money is sitting there, all right? When markets go down and they go up, that means money goes into the market or it pulls back from the market. There's tremendous resource sitting out there. Quite frankly, there's a whole bunch of external resource that would like to come in here, all right? But the question is what do you do about that, all right? And what I mean is, whenever we have something that's formed here, all right, and we fund it from people that are from here, and it goes well, what happens? The people that started the business do well, the employees that are working for that business do well, all right? And the people that funded it do well, and they all live here, all right? A critical thing about all this is that we need our own to fund our own. Because what I want to see the money recycle here even further. All right, we'll get to that in a little bit. Somebody's phone's ringing. All right. Well, here's the other question. Well, I guess, this stuff isn't going because we just don't have enough people. We don't have enough property. Every square inch of this county and this city is all taken up, right? Don't have any space, right? And of course, that's not even close to true. We got over 2,000 students now. Heck, when I was here, Tri-State was 800 kids. On the weekend, about maybe 50 kids. All right? That's what it was. And from that perspective alone, you look at the kind of students that are running around on this campus, most of them don't come from here. Right? I got a whole bunch of them now that want to stay. I wonder why that is. Because they're starting their businesses here. And you think about it, why wouldn't you want to start a business here? This is a great place to be. Right? But you got to have all the pieces in place, right? Next, I don't know the exact number here. I've been working with a number of different realtors in the area trying to get an understanding of this, but we got space. You know what? Wouldn't it be a great problem if we had it all filled up and we have people wanting to know where they could hang a shingle out or have anywhere that would be possible to run their business? Wouldn't that be a great problem to have? And when we have that, then I say, let's go build. But until we have it all filled up, right? And a lot of the businesses that I'm involved with that we're getting running, they don't need fancy space. They just need a space, right? There's some incredible things that we can do with this. And last I checked, my gosh, we've got hundreds of thousands of acres. We've got it. We've got all of it right here. So the infrastructure, matter of fact, it's ready. We don't really need to do a lot to it to get it ready. And that's one of the things. The vineyard that I'm starting out in Noble County, we had to tile it. But a lot of land out here is already tiled. It's already drained. It's flat. It's cleared. It's incredible. All right. Here's the deal, though. All right. When I was at that meeting in Fort Wayne, I was talking to these venture capitalists who were from Indy. All right. You know what they want? Ideas. They got the cash. They're swimming in it. All right? What they don't have is a creative bone in their bodies. All right? They understand how to make more money, but they need ideas to actually go run with it. Matter of fact, they sent people up from Indy to Fort Wayne, and those guys in Fort Wayne are running around the city trying to find ideas and put money into them. And I've got nothing against working with Indianapolis, but the reality is, where's the profits from those businesses going to go? Down there, right? You think they'd be up in Fort Wayne if they didn't think there were any ideas or anything that were worth investing in? Of course not. They're going to go to where they think the opportunity is. You realize they've come up to see us 2 times now, and they're coming again? Realize on Monday, I have the Federal Reserve of Chicago coming here. All right? For venture capital stuff. They're interested in what we're doing. They want to know how they can help. I don't think those guys waste their time on stuff they don't think is going to work. All right? So the critical thing here is, the idea is it. If you have this 3-legged stool on the side, and those you might not be able to read this as well, the left leg is the process. All right? And the process is this whole idea that you can have an idea, but if you can't run it through the right series of steps, does this business have any real basis in reality? Does it have margin? Can we make a good money on it? Does it have scale? Can we grow it? All right? What are the competitors out there? And competitors aren't bad. They're great. All right? But the trouble is a lot of folks that have the idea, they know where they have the idea, but they don't know anything else about it. That's one of the reasons why a lot of businesses fail, because you get a guy that's real creative, he knows how to make this thing, but then you saddle him down with doing the books all afternoon. What do you think wins? Right? He wants to work on the product, but the realities of the business kick in and force him to do the other, but he's not real good at doing the accounting. So we have all kinds of loss where people are spending time on stuff they shouldn't be. The process helps that. Next thing is that, okay, so the mayor and I, we're going to start a business in our garage. okay? And we got this really great idea, but we really need some pretty sophisticated equipment to test the prototype we're building. You have that kind of stuff hanging around in your garage? I don't know about me. I don't think the mayor does either. The reality of it is, look at our campus. Anybody happen to have an electron scanning microscope in their garage? Or a wind tunnel? All right? Or the computer labs are experts in all these different things running up and down the halls? That's us. You know, one of the things that I was talking with one of the city council members is that, good grief, I'd hate to be Kendallville. What do they got? All right, they got the same basic land that we do, but they don't have anywhere near the attractions. They don't have a university. They're just sitting there trying to figure out how to make it. All right? The next thing is the investors. The fact that we have these lakes and the kinds of houses that are being built on these lakes and the kind of people that went to the university and have made their fortunes and coming back, there's money there. And I don't say that with a guess. I say that with the funds that I'm raising right now. All right? So the reality of this is there's one last piece to this. If I can get the slide to go. A willing government. And man, I tell you what, it's excellent here. Working with the mayor, working with city council. There's a whole bunch of people here that, I don't want to use too strong a word, but they're desperate to make things work. They know they've got to. They see it. It's beyond talk. They're like, let's go do it. All right, prove it. I mean, you know, okay, so you say that, so, all right, great, Scott came up here, told us all this great stuff, but then he left. There's nothing, I mean, I don't know, where does it go from here? I'll give you a great, simple idea, all right? We're at a Trine football game, and I was with Todd and Chuck and the mayor and a couple others, and we were talking about stuff that we could do that was right here. Why not take advantage of what we have right here? Okay? And one of them brought up the idea, well, we got Stroh orchards. Well, they make a lot of apples there. I mean, good grief. A lot of apples grow up here. This is this natural place for this in this part of the world. And then we're looking at it and saying, my gosh, you know what? You can't seem to make enough alcohol to satisfy people. You know? And the last time I checked, the margins are real good. All right? So, you know, I may have been born at night, but I wasn't born last night. So I look at this and say, well, why can't we take advantage of the name we have here? It's wholesome and good with Pokagon and the natural countryside that we have. Let's take advantage of the fact that we got a local producer of a fantastic product and the orchards and all the things that they do and produce. Take advantage of the fantastic distribution we have here with 80/90 and I-69. Let's make a regional hard cider. You know, outside of America, you can't get apple cider without it being alcoholic. It's a way of preserving it. All right? It's as old as the hills, but the reality of it is that I started having some of my students start to dig into this thing. Now, there's a little company called Crispin Cider. It's a regional cider brand formed in Minneapolis. All right? Real higher-end stuff. Okay? You know who just bought them? Anheuser-Busch. Okay? The market's starting to grow. A lot of these ciders. Now, those of you who drink this stuff, Woodchuck is one of the big brands. It's the only brand that's got any kind of real distribution outside of the country. And I drank it, and by about the 5th or 6th bottle, it was pretty tasty stuff. But it was, what we found was that what's happening is that it's resembling the microbrew beer phenomenon that happened in the 90s. Okay, is that you had these pockets, regional places starting to develop this, and the people in the area liking it and drinking it and saying it was good. All right, and then what happens is the big beverage companies, InBev, Anheuser, Miller's, all those guys are saying, well, heck, I haven't had a creative idea in 100 years. But these guys have come up with something, so they come in and buy it. That shouldn't strike anybody in here as that unusual, does it? All right? Does everybody get hard cider? I'm not talking biotech. I'm not talking all these wonderful things. I'm talking something that almost everybody in here understands. And I think that we've got, do you think you might have a brother-in-law or a sister or a cousin that might be able to work putting this stuff in bottles and putting it in boxes? Yeah, I think so too. All right, I think we've got that. And so what we looked at is then I started talking to people in the area, you know, that look at this from an investment standpoint and said, what would happen if we took down some space right in Angola where we make this stuff. You know, what would happen if we used the facilities at the university to perfect recipes, and then we took some property down? Would you be interested in investing in that? Yeah, they are. Huh. They see it. Because now I can even talk to them about an exit strategy. We're going to get this thing big enough, and then we're going to let one of these other guys come out with it. Come out and buy us, and take it from there. All right? And again, we got the space. We don't need anything fancy. All right? This is something that can work right now. Here's the other thing. We're putting it together. We're looking at what kind of jobs these are. And we found out that we can probably pay about 1.5 or 50% more than the average city wage. That's the way it ought to be, isn't it? I'm nothing against bringing in big distribution warehouses and stuff like that, but I look at what those jobs pay, it just doesn't do much for me. I'd like to see people that can actually go out and afford to go and eat in the restaurants and shop at the stores and buy a nice place and fix it up. All right? Because the way I think of it is what we call, and you all heard this before, it's called the multiplier effect. At $1, you give the employee $1. It's not just $1. Okay? They go to the store, they spend that $1, and then that guy takes $1 and spends it, and then that woman takes it and spends it. It's about, 7, 8 times? Now here's the thing, when you think about businesses succeeding and failing, all right? Let's say we start one of these up. And let's say it runs for a couple of years and it fails, all right? Because they're gonna, some of them are, all right? What about the pay for those people for the 2 years? What about the rent that they paid? What about the supplies that they bought? That multiplies through no matter what. The critical thing is to get them started, all right? And the way we look at it is if you take that process and you put it around it, it works, all right? So this thing is happening now. My class, we had 8 different business ideas that were presented. This is a class I get to teach. The students aren't so happy that I get to teach it. But the neat thing about it is that they had 8 different business ideas that they could work with, and they chose this one. They said it made sense to them. And the arguments that they gave it, I sent some of them to the mayor. They read like the public relations campaign for the city. They said, look at all the stuff about this. This is perfect for here. My gosh, we're right near the highway. It's easy to ship out. All right? So this is what's actually happening. Sometimes I think, with the university and all the high-end stuff that we do, it can be something like, well, I don't know what that is. I don't have anybody in my family that does that stuff. I just have a good business. I make a good living. I understand that, all right? But the stuff that I want them to do here is, I figure $1 spends the same way, no matter how you make it. So if we got stuff here, if you have ideas, and I know some of you right now are thinking, hey, so heck, if he's trying to do cider, heck, I got something for him, right? And I say we're open for business. I have to have these ideas. We have to have them. I'd rather have my students working on a business plan for your idea than out of some textbook. Right? It's real to them. They want to be involved. And you think about it this way. You take a student that's, let's say, who knows where they're from, but they're not from here, and you have them running their dream, or running their own business, and then right here we step in and say, here's some space right in Angola. Do you think they'll stay? Why not? They'll aspire to one of those places on the lake. Right? Because this is where it is. It doesn't have to be something where we got to persuade them to come in. They're already here. Give them the reason to stay. All right. At the end of the day, when I look at this, we're partnered together whether we like it or not. I was talking to one of the city council members. I said, 100 years from now, Tryon is still going to have to go out and attract good students. The city's still going to have to go out and attract good business, no matter what. And I love it. There's nothing like having to get along. All right? So I feel like the city's my brother. All right? And I fight with my brother, right? We argue and back and forth and all that stuff, but we're both in this thing for the duration. Neither of us going anywhere. All right? So this is a fantastic thing. So once you recognize that, the whole thing opens up. It doesn't have to stay restricted. Well, they do their thing and we'll do our thing. It's like the only way this works. I'm cleaning out, I'm not kidding, I'm cleaning out broom closets in my building to help give these students a place that they can hang their stuff up on the wall and have their workbench open. Good grief. You know, I mean, is there any space in the city where these guys could, once they're growing, I got to get them out of there because I got other ones coming in. It's a natural fit. If I don't have a relationship with the city, it don't work. I have to have it, you see. So this is the most incredible thing. And everybody's coming to us because we're the ones with the ideas. And I mean us being us. All right? We have that, right? I mean, what's wrong with having this thing make some money? What's wrong with having this thing be the ability for these people to do what they want to do? I think that's the very best thing. Matter of fact, I think it's probably one of the most fundamental things about you as a person. You love to create. You love to have something you can call your own. And we already got them coming in. It's not a matter of if. It's not a matter of, well, if we just get the right program started, it'll happen. No, it already is. And right now, there's people right now, you're sitting here, you say, I have ideas. I'm going to grab him after this speech is over. I'm going to say, next time make it a little shorter, but here's my idea. All right? All right. This is my favorite part. Infrastructure's going to have to catch up, isn't it? All right, we got to do it. We have to have the stuff come in, and then we'll have to have good firms like Jim Ingledew come out there and build us more buildings, right? It's going to happen. All right? Because that's how it's supposed to be. Right? So, you know, it's when my wife announced we were having our second that I thought maybe our house isn't big enough. Right? Didn't go about and buy a 10-bedroom house when we were just the two of us. Right? The thing that I think is so great is I'm literally underwater with my inbox and my email of ideas now. All right? The stuff that we've already got coming out there, it's fantastic. It's like the most amazing buffet you've ever seen. I can go out there and say, look at all these ideas that have come in. I had 6 different people from outside the community come to my class and present their idea because they want to do it. Said to each of them, you know, if there was a way to get you some funding and good space here in the city, would you come up here so we can keep an eye on you? Absolutely. Why wouldn't they? Fort Wayne's not doing anything for them. I've said this already, but when you think about it, it might be kind of hard to see. You got to have the students because they haven't been told no near enough. Okay? They don't think they're going to fail. And quite frankly, sometimes I think to start a new business, you've got to be kind of crazy that way, where you think somehow, against all odds, that this thing's going to work. And that's what we need. All right? When I think about the business community here, and I've been here since last July, you know, full time, the people I've met, almost to the person, you want to see this go. All right? And I think about the city government here. I think it's responsive. I think it's open. I think it wants it. All right? The only one I think is even close to what we're doing here is when I think of like Whitley County. I grew up just outside of there, just inside the Noble County line. The businesses that are popping up and growing there, they're amazing because of that open-ended response that Whitley County has. All right, so here's what the future's going to look like. I'm telling you right now. It's already happening. Investors are coming to us. All right, Elevate Ventures out of Indy. They want in. All right, I'll let them in. Why wouldn't it? But I'd rather see our own people fund it first. All right. I see this happening. Governments from around the area are going to say, how did you do that? Right? A lot of times, you know, you get together and everybody commiserates about what's not working. What we do is we do what we do here, and people are going to look to us to say, how can I replicate that there? I'm just trying to figure out how we can charge them. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Right. And this is the other thing. Had one of our most successful alumni tell one of our admissions folks that, gosh, with the standards you guys got, I'm not sure I'd get in. You know, when he was a student here. That scared me. Because you think of the success that the guys had, it's pretty amazing. And when I say about tougher to get into the school, I don't necessarily mean grades and SAT scores. I'm looking for that drive, that ability to solve problems. You think about if I graduate a student, he comes to work for you, and you don't have to give him near enough information. You can just throw them in there and say, hey, I need this project thing put together. I need a plan by next Tuesday. And they say, okay, heck, I've done more than that. That's what we're talking about here. I'm looking for a very specific kind of student. There's a young woman there that sits there, and I can give her the most insufficient information at all, and they will come back and say, here's what I think you meant. All right? And that's the kind I'm looking for. Okay. All right? My favorite part, because I get to tell you what to do. All right? Well, here's what I need. This. 3 things. There's not a one of you that I don't want to hear from. I have to. All right? Because why is that? You ever heard of a pipeline? Right? Anybody in sales will know what I mean. That you start putting stuff in one end of the pipe, prospects and ideas and proposals, and you keep stuffing them in there, and eventually stuff starts coming out the other end, closed sales. It's fact of life. Normally got to put a whole bunch more in to get even a little bit out. And that's what this is about. We need lots and lots of ideas. Even if we take the same statistics of success or failure, then I need lots of ideas so we can separate the good ones from the bad ones. You've got them. All right? This is the most concentrated group of people that I absolutely need to talk to right here. The Chamber of Commerce. Everybody in here is in business. You guys are the future of this thing. And it's happening now. Thank you.